Hi everyone, it's Lehman with Lace Covered Skies. Today I'm going to be doing a craft with me. I have some odds and ends of things to finish up, and I think I'm going to start with the cover here that I'm working on. Alright, let me make sure it's in frame. I am going to be putting this piece on here, and I have this brad that I will be using, and let's just go for it. It's gold and the rest of it is not gold, but I'm fine with that. So let me go in through this pocket. I think I should have done this before coming on camera. Okay, there we go. So that's going in there. And then it's going to, actually, let me check something. Actually, it needs to go above. I have a few layers of transparency here for reasons I will not explain. There were some mishaps making this, but it turned out okay. So that's gonna go in there like that. And I'm trying to decide if I should put glue. Okay, I'm gonna put glue over the bottom. It's all gonna be flat down, so it's not gonna be a pocket. And let me see. So if I want a pocket, it can't hit past this. So it would have to be a pocket on this side, which I kind of like that idea because it's different. I think I will do that. I'm going to make a pocket come out of this side. So what I'm going to do is put glue. I'm going to leave like a little area right here. It doesn't necessarily have to be the entire height or anything like that, but I will do, and I'm going to be using this glue, and actually let me do this at the end of the video, because after I put the glue on, my window's not open right now, but after I put the glue on, I want to open the window right away. So let me make sure I have a needle in here, I think, or a pin. Let me make sure it's not dried and stuck in there. Jeez. I think it's good. All right. So let me move on from this. We'll come back to this at the end of the video. And my last video, I had made these, this one, and of course the other one disappeared on me, and this one. So I wanted to show you what I do at the end, because this has an open loop, and I could leave it like that, which I do sometimes, but I wanted to show you what I do when I don't want to leave it open like that, because like with this one, it's a head pin, so it finishes it off, but this one is kind of like left unfinished in a way. I mean, you could definitely just leave it, but for some of them I do this. I definitely do leave it sometimes, but when I feel like it, I use 2 small beads with a jump ring. So let me stand up for this part and show you what I do. So I will take my flat nose pliers and hold on to one side of this jump ring. So the opening is right here on the top. And I will use my round nose pliers, but use the flat part right there, just that little short area. Oh my god, sorry about that. And I will open up the jump ring. Let me see if I can make that visible. So I opened up the jump ring, and I will put a seed bead into the jump ring, just like that. And then I will put another seed bead, just thread it on there. And if you guys do this at home, it'll be much easier because I'm like holding it away from myself so you guys can see. So it seems like a little more complicated, but it's not. It's pretty easy to do. Then I'm going to close up the jump ring. And remember, when you close up jump rings, you're twisting forward and backward and not side to side. You're not opening it up side to side. You're just going forward and backward. And there we have it. So it just has those two little seed beads hanging off the end. I think it's kind of cute. So those are two that I made in the last tutorial. I think it's called the Charms and Dangles tutorial, I believe. I'll try to link it if I remember to link it in the bottom, in the description. Now, the next thing I want to do is work with this ball chain. I recently bought it from Hobby Lobby, and it was a really good deal. This is 10 yards, and it's originally $11.99, but the day that I went, everything from this, a lot of the jewelry stuff was 50% off. So I got this for $5.99, which I thought was a really good deal, especially because I didn't know if I'd have to order online and how long it would take. And then I got 30 of these ball chain clasps to close it. Now I am working on these journals right here, and I need to make chain to hang some dangles through and to hang some fabric tags. I'm not sure what I'm going to call them yet, but I need it to hang through. I've never used ball chain, like made anything with it before, so I'm learning right on camera right now. I should have looked up a video, but let me see if I can just figure it out. And I'll still look up a video later. But okay, so this goes in here. Okay. And I want, so basically this is going to hang from it, as well as these tags. I'm not sure what I'm going to call them yet, but they're really easy to make, and I love the way they look. It's basically bits of fabric, strips of fabric that I sewed around a piece of file folder. And it's such a great way to use up scrap file folder and scrap fabric. And I want it to turn into like a charm in a way, like fabric charm. So I don't need the jump rings. I was trying to figure out how to do it, and I had these jump rings on, and now that I have the ball chain, I don't need the jump rings anymore. So okay, here we go. Just gonna take the jump ring off and then save it for something else. So I'm just testing to see if this is going to even work. Okay, thank God. I thought the ball chain was too big for this. So it's going to just hang like that, and I want 3 of them on there. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the length and work with that, because I'm not much of a measurer and it's kind of hard to measure it like this anyways. So let's go ahead, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to use this to cut it with, but let's try. Okay, it worked. So let me just trim off this other end. Actually, it just fell off, I think. All right, so I'm excited to see how this is gonna look. Okay, make sure I'm in camera, in frame. I am going to thread this through, and I want the fabric to be in the back. So let me go ahead and take off these jump rings. I have been working on these journals. Like, I refocused a few weeks ago, and I should be done with them, but I keep wanting to add more and more. But I know that the closer I am to finishing the cover, the sooner I will stop adding more to them. And I did a lot of collaging in these journals, which is what took the longest. Because collaging, to me, collaging is the most time consuming. It's just so, it's definitely hard to, it's hard for me to be satisfied with what I've done. Let me make sure. Okay. I'm gonna put this in first. So 1 tag, 2, and 3. I love that these are fabric, but they look a little hardier than fabric, and just the way they look hanging. All right. Then I am going to put that side in. I'm going to put the clasp on that back piece, and then I could just clip this in, but since I'm here, I will thread this through. Now I could put it on this, or I could put it directly on the chain using a jump ring. I haven't decided, but let's try this for now. Okay. Okay, I think I definitely am going to make it go directly on the chain, because this is a little bit long. Like, I do want it longer than this so that the tags come through, but I think it's just a little too long. So I'm going to see if this jump ring will work. It's a thick jump ring, and I got this the other day at a Hobby Lobby as well. It was 50% off, which is so tempting because it was only $2.99, I think, and I could have gotten so many more items. All right, so let me just take it off of the bull pin and see if this jump ring, because it's a really thick jump ring, it does fit through here, through this chain right here. so that was nice. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up on its own before I thread it in. This is so very thick. It's a very strong jump ring, which will be good, especially on the cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this back up and thread it through. And then let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think I like that a lot better, for sure. Now I'm wondering if this should go in the front, but I think I'll decide that later. And then when I do the flip through for these, you guys can see what I ended up doing. But I like that. And I might add some more charms and things like that in addition to these fabric tags. All right, cool. Okay, so now I am going to I wanted to show you guys these envelopes that I was working on, and I just need to trim some thread, so that's what I needed to do as well. So let me go ahead and trim thread, and I can show you these envelopes. These are super easy to make, and I collaged on them, which collaging just it didn't take as long as I thought it would, but I just love the way it turns out at the end. And I used really light green thread, which I love for these botanical journals. So I think I'm going to assemble these journals today and then put everything in that I have so far, like all the ephemera, pockets, dangles and charms, just everything the way it should be that I have so far. And then once I've finished with that, I can flip through again, and I think I'm gonna make some more things for it, like maybe 3 or 4, because I have a few ideas, and then hopefully I'll be done. And when I mainly make retro journals, and this is my first time trying these botanical, like a little bit more of a rugged botanical theme, and I really enjoyed it. Like I thoroughly enjoyed working with this theme, because I did do some floral journals before, and those are more floral, a little bit more girly, more like a garden, but these ones are a little bit not as feminine, and I loved it. Okay, so these are ready to go into the journals, and there's going to be 2 per journal. I'm making 5 journals. I have 11 envelopes, and I always try to make it extra because I can then save one. Let's say I decide to save this one. I just put it into this folder here, and inside this folder are examples of everything I've made. Well, not everything. Sometimes I forget, but I try to put a sample in there every time so that I can look back and get ideas. All right, So those are ready to go. Now I think I'm going to go back to this. Let's go ahead and do this now. Okay. So I am also needing to put this here, and I do have a couple of these little guys. Is this a brad? Yeah. I'm going to be putting the brads here, but this is a pretty thick cover, so it does go through to the back, but it's not long enough where it's going to hold it on its own. So I do want to glue it. Okay. So let's go ahead and there we go. Okay. All right. Surprised that went that smoothly on camera. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue out here. Just opening up the prongs. It's a little bit of a challenge because it's so short, but it's working fine. All right, so let's try the other side. I'm gonna add a little bit of glue. Sorry, I don't have much room on my desk right now. Putting this through. And again, let's flip it to the other side. Okay, there we go. So that's on there. Now, let's go ahead and grab this. And I'm just going to draw a line where I want the glue to go. I do want a lot of glue here though. So that's all the way down this side. And I mean, I guess I'll just go down as low as this part. And that'll leave that much room for a card or something. Actually, I might not go in that far. And I'm using glossy accents because this is a cover and I need it to be very durable and reliable. Okay. Now, I'm going to put it through here. And press everything down, make sure it's straight. Okay, I'm making sure it's straight. And then I'm going to go ahead and open these. Put a little bit of glue here. All right. Now what I like to do when I'm gluing is, okay, I hope this isn't weird, but I save plastic from anything that I have, packages, anything that I use. And I hope this isn't weird, but this is plastic from some feminine napkins. I put it in here, and that way the glue that's not dry yet, it's going to go on here and it's not going to do any damage. And then I also take like another piece and use it to press down the glue so that if some comes around the edge, like I don't have to touch it. And now that that's done, let me find my needle. Actually, I think I lost it already. All right, so when I am letting something dry like this, especially with wet glue, with any glue really, I will use a book, and I call this my glue press because it's so dense and so thick. And I will let me attempt to do this since it's not just a piece of paper. Okay, I just avoided disaster right there. This is not completely flat, so it might not work. I was going to put this cover into this book, but there's a piece that's not flat right there. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but I will try to put it in as much as I can. I probably should have glued that on before sewing in my signatures, but I didn't. All right, so this, I'm going to put it right here and just try to close the book as much as I can so that the paper can lie flat. All right, but that's it. So I'm going to let it dry. And thank you so much for watching and crafting along with me today. I will talk to you next time. Bye, everyone.